Hello everybody and welcome back. This is JudiciousFire. I'm on iOS. I'm looking at another Guild Wars today, but today's going to be a special Guild Wars. I've been at 800 might for the last couple of days, but looking forward to a Guild Wars to see what kind of points I can rack up. In addition, over the last 3 or 4 days, I made some significant improvements to my heroes. I'm going to be looking at that in detail today. Typically during a Guild Wars, I go through my attack team and I show you what they do. I'm going to do that today, but also I'm going to show you how they do it. I'm going to look at some of their attributes and go into detail into their enchantments and their traits. Many of their traits I redid over the last couple of days, and I did so because of the breakthrough system. I was able to get a couple of my heroes up to breakthrough 20, and I'm going to take them for a spin today. So first, let's take a look at the Guild Hub. Let's see where we are. It's February 21. Just reminding the members always hostile that Guild Wars is required. It is our only required guild game mode. There's nothing else that we require because I feel as though it's time specific. I can't expect a European player to show up at 2100 system time for Fortress Feud. But Guild Wars, you get 24 hours in the day, and so participation is required. Let's take a look at who I have on base. I'm going to go in drop order, the order in which I would place these heroes on the board. The first is the hero with what I consider the largest damage cap. She's going to take the least amount of damage during this entire process. It's Dovekeeper. I've got her with a Brute Force, with the Fennec Pet, and a Sharpen Insignia. I'll go into more detail later. Second person I'm going to drop on the board is Levanica. Levanica also has a damage cap, not as significant as Dovekeeper's. He is vulnerable for a little bit more. I think it's 1 extra second, but she's only vulnerable for 1, so he's vulnerable for double the amount of time as Dovekeeper. That's certainly significant. He has a Sacred Light. He's running Rudolph, and he's got Brute Force on him. Third out on the board is going to be Anubis. Anubis is running defensive talents, defensive insignias. I've got him in Sacred Light, Percelot Pet. I've got him also with a Survival. Fourth on the board is going to be Demo Gorgon. Demo is also being run defensively. He's got a Sacred Light, he's got a Survival, and he has the Piblob Pet. Fifth on the board is going to be Triantar. Now, Triantar is also being run defensively. He's got Sacred Light, Survival, and Bublo Pet. And lastly, we have Serena. She is running Sacred Light, Survival, as well as Mini Angie. Let's take a look at these heroes in the... let's stay with drop order. Let me go... There we go. Okay, so we're looking at Dovekeeper. She's at skill 12. She is dealing 310% attack damage per second for 3 seconds, removing buffs, summoning 3 Love Doves. She can't take more than 18,000 damage per hit. The Love Doves can only take 1 damage per hit. And whenever a Love Dove is attacked, her attack is increased by 45%. I've got her with Brute Force. Now, I have an Unholy Pact and a Brute Force. Typically, I'm running 1 offensive and 1 defensive trait on every, talent on every hero. But Dovekeeper is all attack. And so, because of that, I don't really see any reason to put any kind of a defensive talent on her. She's not somebody I would use for defense. You might see a little bit of the reason why in today's Guild Wars, but I find her to be an ineffective defender. She's a great attacker, but an ineffective defender. I've got her going with Fennec Pet. Now, Fennec Pet is going to restore the health of 4 of my teammates. It's also going to provide a Psi Shield. It's very much like a an interruption or a pause in any kind of a negative status that's about to happen. If we're going to be stunned, if we're going to be silenced, we're going to be slowed, if something bad is going to happen to us, this is going to prevent that as long as it falls within the time window of the Fennec Pets operation. Brute force is something that I would recommend, but recommend with hesitation. You're going to have to outfit your hero with the ability to deliver critical hits, and that comes through traits. I would also never try to turn a jackhammer into a scalpel. Okay, if your hero is not designed to do critical strikes, I would not try to change the traits towards making he, she, or it a critical striker. Dovekeeper is able to do that, and so I simply accentuated or exaggerated that. I went with the equipment of Victory Lunge, giving her 25% attack increase as well as reflecting damage. She's Destiny level 40. You see some of the attribute gains that she gets. And her traits. Okay, I gave her 3 crit, 5, 2 dodge, and 1 crit resist. Now I did this. I had different traits on her only a few days ago, but once she hit breakthrough level 20, I saw that her attributes changed dramatically, and I didn't have to run as much crit. I could run a little bit more dodge, and I like the fact that she has a little bit of crit resist because other people are kind of running the same kind of setup out there, and I like to be ready for it. Let's see here. Overall damage and health. Okay, so she's at basically 34,000 damage, 600,000 health. You can see her attack speed, her foot speed. Her accuracy is at 2,000 now. Her dodge at 3,000. I only had 2 dodge traits on her, but still she's putting out 3,000 dodge. She's almost at 900 crit. Her crit damage, and I'm not worried about crit damage. The crit itself and brute force and the sharpen insignia that I have on her, which is going to increase her critical rate and her accuracy. That'll take care of damage on its own, as well as 500 crit resist. Much of this came naturally through the breakthrough process. She is breakthrough level 20. Let's move on to the next person we're dropping out on the board. We are dropping Levanica next. Let's go into the altar. Very good. Okay, he's at level 20. He is removing buffs. He is dealing attack damage to 3 heroes, 3 enemies. He is increasing their damage received by 50%. So the enemy's taking 50% more damage when he's focused in on them. When he transforms into a magma dragon, he is dealing a tremendous amount of damage to 4, to enemy heroes on the board, inflicting paralyze on them. He is able to regain 100% of his health. He cannot receive more than 10,000 damage per hit. He has fast energy recovery. He's a one-man army. He's got Sacred Light. It's giving him 90% extra health and reducing his damage by 60%. Now, the damage reduction is only going to be applied when his damage cap switches off. But during that time, he's going to be receiving 60% less, and all the time he's going to be having 90% extra health. Let's see here. Oh, I'm running Rudolph because he is going to remove negative conditions from my friends in battle, and he's also going to heal us. Now, Fennec and Rudolph, the first 2 pets I showed you, both of them only activate when the hero is under attack. since these are the first two heroes I'm dropping out on the board, I am relatively certain that they're going to be under attack. So make sure your pets are operating based on whether or not it's under attack, doing the attacking, or working all the time. Your pet descriptions will tell you. A Crest, I have him in brute force. Again, I would recommend, but with hesitation. He is able to perform critical strikes. We'll take a look at his enchantments and traits pretty soon. I've got Destiny 40. You can see the attributes added. Equipment, I have Victory Lunge again for the added attack as well as the damage reflect. I have five crits, and this is going to give him the chance to take somebody who's a breakthrough level 20 hero and hit him over the head for 1,000,000 damage. I have found, and I've said this in the last 8 Guild Wars videos, ever since Breakthrough came out and ever since people started putting their heroes up at Breakthrough 20, I have found that either they are impossible to kill, thereby leading to a timeout where you simply run out of time. That could be in Lost Battlefield, that could be in Labyrinth, that could be in the arena, that could be out here in Guild Wars. It's just a standstill out there. Or they beat you, okay? So both of those I want to avoid. So I go the crit strike method. And Breakthrough 20 or no, if you get hit for 1,000,000 damage on top of the head, you're out. So I put him all in crit, and we'll take a look at his overall statistics. I have to go back in, go in here. Here we are. Okay, so as far as his damage is concerned, he's doing about 34,000 damage. He's got 750,000 health. You can see his attack speed, his movement speed. He's at about 2,000 accuracy. Now look at his dodge. He is nearly at 5,000 dodge, and none of my traits are dodge. They're all crit. And he's running at 800 crit. This guy can take out 2-3 heroes at a time. Again, I'm not concerned with crit damage. I'm not overly concerned with crit resist. I'm not so supposing that I'm willing to let me go back to traits here. Check out my earlier video, my enchantment video, and I talk about traits and trait rolling. I've never hit the 1950 button. This change with gems 1950, I've never done this. What I do for any of my traits, I start 6 are open. I get one I like, I lock it. I get another one I like, I lock it. I get the next one I'm looking for, I lock it. Fourth one I'm looking for, I lock it. That leaves 2 open. It's 450 gems to change the last 2. And what I have found is with just a couple of touches of the 450 button, you can get 2 really nice 5 traits. And if you're lucky, it's one of the ones that you wanted, and the other one, hey, if you're so supposing that you're willing to hit the 1950 button, then more power to you, but I would never do this. So I go with the 450, and I've been able to get a 5 trait on all my heroes without any problem. So I gave them a little bit of crit resist, and that's fine. Let me go into third on the board. Let us see. Is Demogorgon? No, it's going to be Anubis. I am running Anubis defensively. We sometimes think of him as an attacker. I'm using him to clear all the troops and to deal with the massive number of enemies on the board during this Guild Wars. So with the Sacred Light, he's getting 90% health increase, damage reduction. Typically I run 1 offensive, 1 defensive talent. Now he's offensive with Unholy Pact. Now he's back to defensive with Sacred Light. He's doing damage to 100 enemies at a time. He's reducing their attack by almost 50%. This is one of the main reasons I'm using him as well. He's going to reduce the heroes' ability to attack and cut it in half. He's going to be transforming. He's immune to this, that, and the other thing. He's reducing damage. During this time, Sacred Light's damage reduction will not be working, but when his skill is cooling down, the damage reduction will kick in. He's dealing extra damage to people. He's reviving 3 times, each time with 80% of his health. And please remind yourself, as I did earlier in Guild Wars today, revive, all of these things are unable to function on Anubis. I thought to myself, you know what would be a great talent? And then I stopped and I said, wait a second. No. I love this new revive that they have out there where you keep coming back and back at Revive 9. That's a video for another time. So we've got Anubis running defensively. We've got Victory Lunge on him for the extra attack, the damage reflect. I have a Survival to give him some damage negation. For 3 seconds, he can't be harmed at all. And he is going to be healing himself. Now he has the ability to heal. So it's a wonderful, wonderful insignia. Here's his Destiny at 40. You can see his attribute gains. And we go back into equipment. And we go into his traits. He's a guy I had to switch around a little bit too. Once I found at Breakthrough 20 how dramatically his attributes had changed, I went to buff certain things that I needed and fill in a couple of gaps. I've got 3-5 dodges on him, and I'm loving it. Keeping him slippery out there on the battlefield, keeping him away from trouble, it's working very, very well. A little bit of extra health, and also the accuracy for when he's throwing out his hits across the board, globally across the screen. And we'll go back into his overall statistics. Okay, he's going about 87,000 damage, about 800,000 health. He's got 3,000 accuracy, 3,600 dodge. I'm not trying for any kind of crit on him. He's not somebody that I think could reliably crit. Thereby, I've not put any kind of crit trait on him. And the rest just sort of speaks for itself. This guy is amazing. He's been amazing for the nearly 2 years he's been out, and it's going to be a long time until he gets replaced. I have him in with... what's her name? Persalot. Persalot Pet, because Persalot Pet is going to be reducing the energy production of the enemy. They're going to find it harder and harder to charge up their skill. Fourth guy I'm going to put out on the board is Demo Gorgon. Demo has always been one of my favorites. I constantly and consistently hear him bashed. I read it, I see it on YouTube. At this point, I just roll my eyes, okay, because this guy is amazing. There is no hero in Castle Clash that is immune to Demo Gorgon's blind. He has a blinding effect that can take anybody out. It'll lower their accuracy. It'll lower their ability to react in combat. Basically, they're just going to be going around in a circle like they had a blindfold on. I'm running him defensively. I want to keep him alive. Okay, if I am going to be running on an offensive talent, I'm going to be using the Wicked Armor. 100% attack, 110% attack increase. He can't take damage, reflect for more than 7,000, but 9 times out of 10, I'm running the Sacred Light. I'm just interested in his blind. So I have to keep him alive in order for him to blind. I am keeping a survival on him, again, negating the damage, giving him the ability to heal. I am running Piblob. It pairs very well with his skill. It lowers the accuracy of 4 nearby enemy heroes. I've got the Victory Lunge for the extra attack and the damage reflect. There he is at Destiny 40. And I also had to redo some of his traits as well. Now I know he's a critical striker. He certainly is, but I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in his blind. He is an older hero, and the critical strikes that he dishes out are not sufficient to take out today's breakthrough 20 heroes. He's not going to one-shot a Levanica, but he can certainly blind a Levanica. He can blind 4 of them. So I put some dodge on him. I put, in fact, 5 dodges, 1 accuracy, and this crit came up when I was shooting for some accuracy, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Again, I never hit the 1950 button. Go back in. Let's take a look at his overall statistics. Okay, 3,000 accuracy, 4,300 dodge. Again, crit is not a concern of mine. 440 crit. His critical damage, if he were to crit, and I can do that if I want, and I can go the Wicked Armor route, but that's really going to cut down on his survivability. If he were to crit, he's going to be doing that kind of damage multiplier. And his crit resist, it's pretty much insignificant. I'm just trying to get him to blind. Let's go to main. Very good. He is at about 28,000 damage and about almost 700,000 health. Okay, so I'm trying to keep this guy around as long as possible. Who's the 4th one? The 5th one. 5th one is going to be, Triantar. Okay, very good. Here's Triantar. Triantar is, again, an older hero, but he does some things that nobody else can do. He is a huge part of my team. I got a 1 offensive and 1 defensive talent. Typically, I am running him in Sacred Light to give him extra health and to give him some damage reduction. Typically, I have Bublo on him. Bublo is always going to be working. My hero doesn't have to be attacking nor being attacked. Bublo is constantly functioning, healing my team and increasing their speed. I got him in a survival to keep him alive and to give him the ability to heal. He is going to be reviving 6 friendly heroes. Each of those heroes is going to come back with 75% health. Now, that's great. But what he does best is this first thing. He lets my entire team. It says 7 friendly heroes. I only have 6 on the team. He's going to let 7 people take 60% less damage. So when I'm out there attacking, whatever they do to me is going to be cut by 60% right away. This lasts for 6 seconds, and it's got a cooldown of 6 seconds. They're the same. So the whole time, I'm getting 60% less damage during these attacks. I have a malaise on him. I think this is a very important part of the strategy. It's going to stop 2 of their heroes from healing. And this is essential when you've got all the troops cleared out. When you've got maybe 2 or 3 heroes left on the board, typically it's a Dove Keeper, a Levanica, maybe a Lazulix, and all of a sudden, Triantar stops them from healing, and it's during that time that you can take them out. So it just makes it a lot easier. Destiny, there is Destiny bonuses under his traits. I gave him some dodge. I gave him some health to keep him alive. I came up with this attack during the rolling process. I would not recommend an attack on Triantar, but I was perfectly fine with taking it. And I'm not such a Demogorgon about it that I got to push it to the limit. Okay. Let's take a look at Triantar's overall. He's doing about 29,000 damage. And he's got 600,000 health. 1,800 accuracy, 3,400 dodge, and the rest are fairly insubstantial. So he's a guy I'm just trying to keep alive so he can push out the damage reduction and bring my team back from the dead. And last but not least, out on the board, where are you? There she is. Serena. Serena, I've gotten Sacred Light. She's going to get she got a damage and a defensive talent. She's got Sacred Light for the extra health as well as the damage reduction. She is, she's the sister to Triantar, okay? She will revive members of your party, your friendly heroes, but she won't do so in as great a number as Triantar. She can only bring 3 back. Now, she does do one other thing, and that one other thing no other hero does to the capacity as Serena. This is what I'm most interested in. I'll take the revives from Triantar. That's what I'm bringing him along too. But from Serena, I'm really looking for this. Every 3 seconds, one hero of my team, okay, and it's not going to be Serena. So of the 5 others on the board, one hero, that attack of the hero is increased by 100%. If that lines up with Levanica, if that lines up with my Dovekeeper, who are running the crits and running the brute force and the sharpen, if it lines up with those 2, it's over for the enemy. And that's something you see in combat, you see it happening, and it's an amazing thing to see. So she is a great all-around utility hero. I have her with Mini Angie. She's going to be pumping out some heals. It's a pet that's always going to be working. Let's go into... She is running a malaise just like Triantar. Because she and Triantar, the brother and sister, if you will, because they're playing a support role, I thought it would be best for them both to have malaise. Since it only acts on 2 heroes, now with 2 heroes having malaise, I can stop 4 enemy heroes from healing. It comes down to maybe 3 on the board, I've got it covered, okay? So as long as we can get it down at 4 heroes, nobody's going to be healing. Let's go into traits. I want to keep her alive. I've got dodge. I've got a little crit resist, a little accuracy. I think I, during the rolling process, came up with that crit. I'm perfectly fine with it. She is not somebody who can crit, who will crit, but I'm not rolling over that 5 just for all of them to be perfect. And let's go into her attributes. Okay, so she's got about 28,000 damage. She's got about almost 700,000 health. She's got 3,000 accuracy, 3,600 dodge. Just amazing. So she is somebody who's very slippery out there, as well as somebody who can really do her job well. All 6 pets that I have outfitted to my heroes today during this Guild Wars attack, they all serve a variety of purposes, but none of them will do base damage. I do not want to do any base damage with my pets. I want to do, in fact, as little base damage as I possibly can, even with my heroes. All I want to do, and this is what I call the run and gun, all I want to do is park myself up alongside of the base, cause maybe 10% base damage, and in that 10-15% base damage, all of a sudden, I want to wipe out all of their enemy heroes. And then, when the base is completely empty, then at 15, now maybe 20% base damage, I leisurely stroll through. I don't use, and I'm not knocking it, I'm just saying it's not my style. I don't use Ronin, I don't use that Doom Balloon pet. I could barely even think of them. I don't use them. I don't use any of this stuff. Okay, I knock out the enemy heroes, I vaporize them, and then I stroll through the base like I'm whistling Dixie in the park. Okay, so I don't want to do any base damage. I'm out here just to kill off the heroes and to get 100%. Okay, so we are ready. We've got our six-person team ready. Let's go into guild events, see what we got. I'm going to scan for the highest might. We've got 586, 575, 617, 612, 602. Okay, we've got 3 600s in that one. 621, there's our fourth 600. 551, 586. Okay, so it looks like 586 is going to be the fifth one. Okay, let's take out this 586. We'll work our way up. Now look, these are all breakthrough 20 heroes. Look at this. We got a Lazulix, a Walla Walla, a Dove Keeper. That's all you had to say. Don't use Dove Keeper, okay? You're going to see why. Go Dove. Remember the drop order. 6 heroes out on the board. I don't want to do a lot of base damage. If I start doing base damage, I'm going to walk away. I'm at 13%. And what do we see? These are breakthrough 20 heroes. And guess what? They're gone. I'm at 19% base damage. Who we got left? Looks like just Lazulix, or just Levanica. No problem. I got one guy left who's got Malaise cast on him. He can't heal. As soon as his damage cap is done, he's done. Done. Nobody even hurt. You see full health bars on everybody. All right, 586, that was that one. What was next? It's going to be 602. All right, let's see what we got. We got a Levanica. There's all breakthrough, not all breakthrough 20, but pretty much all of them. Levanica, we got a Laz, a Serena, a Walla, a Rosaline, and another Dove Keeper. Sweet goodness. Okay, we can go after Dove Keeper. Watch the heroes. Watch the Guardian troops disappear. Watch the heroes disappear. Now we got a nice clean board. That's why we bring Anubis along. So all these Guardians and all that garbage can get out of there. Don't worry about Demogorgon. I got 2 Revivers. He'll be back. I'm only at 2% base damage. It's beautiful. Look at this. All we have is Rosaline and Levanica. No problem. Rosaline's dead. Levanica's dead. I'll stroll through the base. Sure. Wonderful. Okay, so we got to bring our buddy back. Where are you? Revive. Okay, we go back in. Where are we now? 612. We have a Walla Walla, a Lava, another Dove Keeper. Oh my gosh. Okay, that Dove. Here. When I react so joyfully at seeing Dove Keeper, it's the fact that at a certain point, you can just use Dove Keeper as a wall to bang on. And this produces energy, which will then fire off your skill and will kill off all their heroes. I get to just park myself at the edge of the base. Now I'm having a Levanica attacking me simultaneously to the Dove Keeper. Maybe not so smart, but I'm willing to give it a try. Let's see. All we have left are Dove, Lava, and Rosa. Only at 16% base damage. You know, look at all the fighting time we get, but no base damage. This is what we want. Oh, we just cast Malaise on Levanica. That's very nice. see how it goes. Now we keep our mind our time. If we get into one of these standstills and I don't feel as there's enough time to clean the base after this fight is over, then I'll restart. Okay, Rosaline died. Levanica died. Everybody died. Okay, I choose to move forward. Great. You take the dog by the leash, you'd go for a little walk. All right. Do a revive. Go in here. Now, where were we? 617 was next, I believe. Very good. Now let's take a look at what we got in front of us. We got another Dove Keeper. Somebody on my team isn't revived. Who didn't get revived? Who did I miss? Oh, Tree Antler. Okay, go back in. Very nice. All right. Oh, this is my go-to Guild Wars team. It creates a Green Warden. Green Warden is going to heal my team and silence the enemy, preventing their skill from functioning or activating in combat. Okay, on the left-hand side, we got a Dove and a Rosa. Now, my heroes are tough enough that they can stack on them or hit them like they're a wall. Very good. I'm going to stop and go back. I didn't like my drop. I started to run off into the board. I don't want to cause base damage. Let me go down here. Let's start at the bottom. Very good. Much better. I want to be engaging the guys at the bottom. Engaging Dove Keeper. Let's keep banging on her love doves. I'm at 16% base damage. That's perfectly fine. Watch the enemy heroes disappear. Lazulix is gone. Everybody, Bogey's gone. Lava's gone. One more hit. Lava's gone. Out. Everybody's gone. Just nice and comfortable. Never worrying. If anything goes wrong, I'm not causing any base damage, so I can press end battle. No concern at all. No stress, no worry, no muss, no fuss. Alright, I think it's our last one. Oh, it's sad. Okay, yep. Yeah, I took those 6s out. 621 is next. Right, 621. We got a Lava, a Walla, a Skelly, Lazulix, a Rosaline, and who's up that in the corner here? That looks like a gunslinger. Alright, I can stack on Rosa. I'll go down here at the bottom. I'll treat her like a Dove Keeper. Perfectly fine. And we drop the rest. Now we're going to have a little bit of trouble with our energy and using our skills because we've got Gunslinger on the board, but she shouldn't be too big a deal. We're at 12% base damage. And all the heroes are gone, except for Levanica. Now watch this Breakthrough 20 Levanica go bye-bye. I'm fine with this. My 6%, oh, he's gone. Alright, just gone. Now, you can't do that without the ability to critical hit. Okay, you've got to do that to take out these breakthrough 20 heroes. Look at my other Guild Wars videos. I do the crit method. I go step by step through this process. All right, is that it? Oh. 8,030. Okay, that's the benefit of being up at a higher might, because you get all those bonus points. Okay, 8,030, man, not bad. Okay, let's see. Next time I'm gonna do a video on the my heroes altar. I'm gonna look in depth at my heroes, their attributes, their skills, the talents that I've chosen for them, as well as the results of the breakthrough process. I'll look at probably my top 16, my Sweet 16, and show you how their development has come along. Thank you for tuning in to another great Guild Wars, and I wish you a great day, and I'll see you on the next video. All right, bye-bye.